Welcome to the Kinetic Life Podcast, brought to you by Kinetic Renew.
Stop! No, we're not doing the standard intro for this episode. For this episode is the 25th of the episodes. Cue the pre-recorded timpani drums. Welcome to the 25th episode extravaganza of the Kinetic Life Podcast. Play the pre-recorded music. In this episode, virtual reality smell you later. A hole for your face to sleep in on your next red eye. Does airline food mess up the airline nap? Most deadly heart attacks occur on this workday. While checking your burns, don't get burned. Eat your fruits, eat your vegetables, and don't forget to eat your viruses. And now, two artificially intelligent guys, your hosts, Michael Shalavudis and Dr. Mark Hertzberg. Cue the fake audience.
That's the silver episode.
Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Kinetic Life Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Shalavudis, and my good friend, Dr. Mark Hertzberg.
I'm Dr. Mark Hertzberg.
So, I'm not sure what is going on, but there seems to be silver foil everywhere. I'm not sure if Mark's wearing a foil hat just to keep the aliens out, or...
Mark is riding his trusty steed, Silver! Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
I think he might have forgot to take his medication today, everyone.
Ooh, but this is our 25th episode.
Oh, wow. Already?
The silver anniversary of us being us.
Whew. That one quick. You been hanging out with me for that long?
I have been here just chilling. You've been hanging near me.
Oh, well, someone's at fault there.
Well, we've been here a while, but if you think you need a break, smell you later.
Whoa. What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that, don't worry about walking away, because with the help of virtual reality, you could feel that I'm always there with you.
Ooh, I'm listening.
Well, you know that the virtual reality can reproduce sound and reproduce visuals.
And even some feeling...
Some textural.
I did a VR experience that was full immersion, and then you put a vest on and ankles and, the helmet, and it was a zombie apocalypse thing, and oh man, it was scary.
I thought I was doing waterboarding with full immersion, and that's scary. But, yes, did they, what happens if they're doing this and someone in your VR throws tear gas at you? Can you smell it?
No, and I don't really feel like getting tear gas while I'm down.
But you'd be wrong, because now they have a smell you virtual reality. That maybe not quite ready to be sold, but it's an amazing idea. They will have smell around for the movies. So Nelson Muntz should be very happy. Basically the way this works is under your nose, they will put what they call odor generators, and there'll be 9 of these. Now,
well, they had two different things. They had a 2-pack, which was small, and then they had a mask, which was a 9-pack. So depending.
Well, no, it used to be 2-packs. That's the breakthrough. The 2-pack was
Gen 1
crude, trying to see, and now they are using 9 odor generators, and what they have is they have paraffin wax in it, and when they heat the paraffin wax a little bit, you smell what it smells like, and each one of these 9 has a different smell so that they can activate different ones. But the impressive thing is they are using 9 cents the way the projectors use primary colors, that with mixing a few colors you can make people see all the other colors.
So yeah, with the 9 different scents, they had be able to create everything from rosemary to pancakes to pineapple. And there was they had some kind of rotting fruit. So there's a lot they've been able to do with it. How much was it? 30 cents, I believe, in total.
Oh, how many they created so far?
Yeah, I think they were able to create 30 cents from the 9 odor generators.
No, I think a lot more than that.
Oh, okay. Well,
They might have had some tests where they were in this one thing had people identified 30, but with the 9 they can make lots of different mixes.
And look, this is early advancement. It's crazy to think that you see movies, the technology in movies become reality, and some of the stuff I feel like we're turning. Have you seen the movie Ready Player One? Mark?
Oh yes, several times.
I would not be surprised if actually I saw one of those multi-directional treadmills that actually for an investment, like an early startup is making something like that they had those movies. So fast forward, I don't know, probably not too many years from now, something like that will be very much something you could do. And now you could smell things while you're in your VR bar or wherever.
Well, I guess the next step is you can taste things. And if they can then find some way to stimulate that, if you ate things, you would feel like you're full.
Yeah, no, it's getting weird. I think at some point you have to step away from that to consume food.
Well,
unless they're tapping into your brain like the Matrix style.
Well, as they ended the very, very first episode that before Star Trek was Star Trek, when it was just a pilot, they have their fantasy and you have your reality. I hope your reality is as good as their fantasy. So.
The Kinetic Life podcast is sponsored by KINETIQ Renew. With benefits like anxiety relief that doesn't knock you out, Renew increases energy, focus, and provides brain support. So get on with your day with Renew in liquid or gel caps. Visit kineticlife.com now and try it. That's KINETIQ life.com now.
Mark, have you ever been on a long international flight and just really couldn't get comfortable and fall asleep?
I don't fall asleep on flights, so I'm the wrong person to ask. But I know people who've tried.
More often than not, you see them in weird positions trying to get comfortable.
I actually, in all my years flying, fell asleep for exactly 2 minutes.
Do you keep
and
track?
I missed the juice. I kept, you know why? Because I was listening to a book on tape. And when at one point I opened my eyes, and I see that people are have juice, like they just finished drinking something. I didn't get one. And they were collecting the garbage. And I actually rewound to where I stopped listening to the thing. It was only a couple minutes. They must have been right by my seat when I fell asleep.
Oh, geez. I usually get hit by the cart because I'm usually in aisle seat and they hit me. So no way I'm sleeping.
That's it. 2 minutes. And never a wink anytime else.
Well, apparently there's a new funky looking sleep device that you put on your tray table, and almost like you put your head in what looks like a massage, table headpiece. Which I could put the link, and if you really want to buy one of these yourself, you put it on your tray table, which assuming your tray table is going to support the weight of your upper body, which I'll probably just break it, and then you lay your face in this massage face.
It's kind of like the hole in the table your face goes in when you're being massaged.
I hope this thing folds up because you don't even walk it on the plane with it fully mounted device. So.
Well, the idea is that you can lean forward and rest on this thing and try to sleep that way. And first of all, we've got to give the link because you really have to go see the picture.
Yeah, it's very visual.
Yeah, but forgetting how secure the seat tray in front of you is, which it is not. Every time they move, they're shaking your head. So, and this is, I think, like a Kickstarter thing, I just couldn't resist looking at. But why not do one that attaches to the arms of your seat? It's more secure. It could have, and it doesn't. It's not another person moving it. You know what? If you can't do that, I got news for you. If you made an attachment from my own, like something like a belt you wore, something that would secure onto your legs and just stick up and hold your chin. So you could, so you could just kind of rest on yourself that way. At least it would be a little more stable than the next guy, the seat in front of you.
So it's just a glorified neck brace with like a pillow.
Yeah, the idea is good. But the one thing about a neck brace is your head is pushing against your chest. And if your body rolls forward, it's not being held. Here I could say, you can put your arms down and like bend forward till they're on your legs, and you can hold your body up with your arms. With your weight of your upper body onto the, near your knee.
We'll put the link in, but it's funny because you see a guy in a suit like he's on a business trip, and there's a weird device. I can imagine the ring mark around his face after a 4-hour flight of sleeping.
Or a couple of teeth could have been pulled.
Yeah.
So so there's no reason you can't have something attached where like from your shoulders to your knee, just a brace to hold you there, and then something holds your head, and you can sleep that way without having to depend on the seat in front of you being still.
Or you have enough money to buy the, that first class sleeper seat, the Delta One or whatever it is, where they put you in your own pod, and then you can lay down horizontally. But until then, the rest of us will be using...
Oh, you just say, Scotty, beam me directly to where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about teleportation just yet, getting ripped apart and put back together.
Oh, Dr. McCoy here. That's not the way to travel, Jim. Having your molecules spread across the universe.
Yeah, not ready for me just yet.
Okay, well then we'll have to move on. I was going to offer you the chance, but that's that.
Well, before you take a nap on that plane, make sure you're going to eat the right food. You don't want to have, any other disruption in your sleep patterns by what you ate before you fell asleep. Like the peanuts and biscotti or bag of chips, or I don't know, the poorly made sandwich in the airport.
Oh, well, yeah, the poorly made sandwich, I think they're not getting at the example where you eat something that makes you sick and keeps you up with a grumbling stomach and needing the facility. They're just talking things that what's in them when it gets into your bloodstream may not be the best for sleep. Of course, when you have like a really nice snack and you go to bed knowing it's there and you didn't eat it, knowing it's there can keep you up.
So they actually ended up doing a study to look at this, and maybe a poorly set up study, but a study nonetheless that they tested 2 groups, one with a high-fat, high-carb diet and one with low-carb, low-fat diet, and they looked at their sleeping.
It was specifically sugar for the carb. It was high and low fat and high and low sugar. They were going direct.
Okay, so high and low sugar, not carb.
It's a carb. Sugar's considered a carb, but it's
specifically sugar they wanted to look at. And they found no difference in the amount of time slept between the groups, but they found that the people on the high sugar diet had as a quote, less quality of sleep and a reduction in the amount of restorative deep sleep.
Slow wave sleep. One thing is they didn't, this was like throw everything but the kitchen sink in and, see if it matters. Because what you're saying is you put a lot of energy into the bloodstream when you really can't do anything with it. It's not like you could burn it off when you're running. And the idea, then maybe if you over-energize, you're not going to have that restful of sleep. But they didn't really check specifics. What if you had low fat, high sugar, or low sugar, high fat? Does one matter more than is it just the way they did it? It's just having a ton of calories before you go to sleep. Could have worked with a ton of protein and a ton of other types of carbs. So, to me, if you inject a ton of energy into your bloodstream before you go to sleep, you're not going to sleep well. But
no matter what it is,
test of the specific type, the foods makes a difference.
Yeah, no, I mean, they left a lot of things out here. And again, the fact that there was just some slight adjustment in the amount of deep sleep, I think is not unexpected, but not really telling us too much.
So, Yeah, it's kind of like saying we wanted to have like a headline, so we did a test and brought us to it. But realistically, there's a lot more interesting testing to be done.
Yeah, and the thing is, they didn't even say, okay, we want to test other factors, carbs, fats, proteins, timing. They just said, well, next time you want to test how it affects memory consolidation. Like, okay, well, I think they're jumping way too far ahead before cleaning up their current experiment.
No, and they've always used to say they'd blame, you're having nightmares, it's because of what you ate before you went to bed. Well, did anyone ever put a test to that to see if different foods, because that's a different state of sleep now, we're talking, does it affect? And I
believe high concentrations of vitamin B6 before bed could lead to enhanced dreams, from what I've read before. Also, I know certain individuals, whatever the antihistamine Claritin is, some people get lucid dreams from that. But this is just from what I've read. Not everyone.
Okay, so Claritin, which sounds like the word clear, which is a synonym for the word lucid. Maybe they were hinting in that.
You don't need it for allergies, it's for lucid dreaming.
The universe always gives you exactly what you need to live a life aligned with the frequency of what you focus your attention on. Author unknown.
What are the most important days to avoid work on?
Well, after reading this most recent study, Mark, I'm not gonna come to work on Mondays anymore.
That is probably good because fill our viewers in, or fill our listeners in.
Apparently, there's a much higher prevalent chance of getting a heart attack on Mondays, and a heart attack that involves what they call the STEM section of the
It's STEMI.
Yes, STEMI.
The ST in STEMI is for the when they give it the EKG, when they do like a little printout of the wave, like how your heartbeat is, they divide it into sections. So there's one section that's called the ST segment, and
that part is the impulse to the lower chamber of the heart, and they said that STEMI based heart attacks are much more severe than those that are non-STEMI. So the pretty much saying not only is it a higher chance of having a heart attack, but a higher chance of having a, life-threatening heart attack on Mondays.
Are you a good heart attack or a bad heart attack?
Now, they're saying that this could be through a bunch of different factors, though most of it's all speculation, one of which is that people change their circadian rhythm over the weekends, maybe being out later, getting up later, whatever it may be, and or possibly alcohol consumption, which would then, when adjusted again on Monday, the change in circadian rhythm is throwing off pretty much homeostasis, I guess, and putting more stress on the body.
Well, that was a guess, but they also, and by the way, they have a name for this phenomenon, Blue Monday. They're saying a lot of bad things happen on Monday, probably because people are more stressed to begin with and expect bad things to happen on Monday. But their basic thing, and it goes into Tuesday too. So Monday's the worst, Tuesday's pretty bad. And So
should we not be recording on Mondays, Mark?
So, well, I didn't sleep last night, but then again, I'm basically, if I sleep too much, it's like other people eating too much. It's like, what is this stuff? I never get to do this.
Well, I'm not much better. I go to bed late and I'm up early every day.
But it's, to me, I'd go more with the stress than the circadian in this case. And they didn't go into this, but to me, logically, there are two things about stress. When the most problems build up, and also your attitude at the time. People on Friday are optimistic. Relaxation is coming. The end is in sight. So even when a kind of problem hits them, like, at work, they're not as bothered by it. Monday, people come in like Garfield the cat. I hate Mondays. And there's forever in front of you. And I think people come in more stressed, and things that happen build up more, and they take it worse.
So if we start a 4-day work week in which Wednesday is off,
Well, that's-
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday would we have less heart attacks?
Well, the one thing is, if you just say then don't come in Monday, then you'll have all the stress on Tuesday. There's also, don't forget what happens on Monday is a lot of things you couldn't take care of over the weekend or things built up. Wednesday, you only had what you left Tuesday, and not that much will have changed when you come to work Wednesday. But when you come to work Monday, who knows what changed since Friday? And it's even worse. If you heard about some of it, then you're sitting around the weekend not being able to take care of it, building up stress. So to me, it makes a lot of sense that Monday has the most stress. And if the stress causes the heart attack, you're also in the worst mood, least optimistic to deal with it. And the fact is, Tuesday is a junior version of Monday. By Wednesday, people are already saying, hey, a good part of this week is done. And as you head forward, it's less and less stressful there. Again, there's a lot more to go figure out why this is. A lot more work needs to be done. This is the beginning, not the
It's more
answer.
just, but like I said, it's a lot of speculation, and I'm not even sure how you would run a test for this, getting people on heart monitors through the entire week, and brain scans to determine what's lighting up.
And maybe you should go around scaring people during the workday and see which workday is the most dangerous to scare people on.
I mean, that sounds like a terrible idea because it's going to induce heart attacks.
There.
We're not trying to kill the employees over here.
Well, I think then we should try to scare people in Vegas casinos because they say the best place in the world to have a heart attack is a Vegas casino.
Why is that?
Because everything is monitored. You will be treated by doctors faster if you collapse by a
Slot machine?
all by yourself. Not even a poking people watching you. All by yourself at a slot machine. You collapse of a heart attack. You will be taken care of faster than if you're walking down the corridor of a hospital and collapse.
Oh, wow. There's also pure oxygen being pumped in, so you don't even need an oxygen mask.
So if you're worried about your stress, go to Vegas.
I don't think that will help.
I think Las Vegas should pay me something.
At least a free one-night stay.
Promoting the city. There you go. Okay, so I'm beginning to think maybe avoid work on all days to avoid heart attacks.
Boy, working on this.
Because if you avoid Monday, then Tuesday becomes Monday. If you avoid Tuesday, then Wednesday becomes Tuesday becomes Monday, and it's Sunday at Clavel. So.
You cannot lose if you do not quit. It always seems impossible until it is done. The best investment you can make is in yourself. All author unknown.
Some new medical technology, which we always like to talk about on here. One actually for burn victims. And I mean, I couldn't imagine the pain that a burn victim goes through. I burnt my finger a handful of times or hand cooking, and it's a fraction of what they're going through, and it's quite painful. Those pain receptors are just going off constantly. So try to bandage a pain victim, a burn victim, is something that taking on and off is probably just perpetual excruciating pain for them. But thankfully, through the advancements of medical technology, things might get better.
Well, you said you can't imagine the pain, and you don't want to. When you hear about people being put into medically induced comas, one of the reasons, at least when I saw it on Dr. House, is something like the pain of a severe burn victim. It's just too unbearable. So they feel it's better to put them into a coma till they heal a certain amount than to be living with the risks way outweigh the experience of the pain. So if people are willing to be put into a coma not to experience the pain, you don't want to be imagining it. When we get our virtual reality, one thing you wanted to skip is that kind of pain in the experience.
Oh, yeah.
So, in any case, for the person, to try to help in such a case, technology has come up with something that you were going to talk about, weren't you?
A hydrogel thermoresponsive bandage.
Yay!
That is 3D printed, and so it perfectly fits the area that is needs to be covered or treated. cover the wound.
So you're saying these are tailored, not off the rack?
No, yes, they are very much tailored. And when it is cold, it expands, and when it's heated by your body, it contracts to kind of cover the area.
Right. Now, we should explain what they consider hot in this case is
room temperature.
The temperature they want it to hold at is hot, and what they are talking is body
cold
temperature.
Yeah.
So when they mold it to you and custom it at body temperature, it sticks. When they want it to release, what they're talking about cold is room temperature.
Yeah.
They're not talking about getting your skin down to freezing. So basically, they can take like a towel into cool water and put the towel over the thing, and that will cool it enough.
Which will expand and then allow it to easily remove, so
Basically, it's kind of like someone choking you, lets go of their grip.
Yeah, and this way they could take it off and check the wound, more frequently if needed without causing discomfort.
Right. As far as if you need to change the band. So number one, they're talking about the comfort, but they didn't mention is for wound healing, because every time you take it off, when it's you got to check the wound, but you're making it worse. That's a process, taking it off when it starts tugging. And we've had a couple of things we've discussed over the 24 previous episodes where they had like bandages that did sensing and told them stuff, so they didn't have to remove them to check as often. But still, every once in a while, to keep it clean, you got to get in there. So it not only is less painful, it's less disruptive to the healing process, that this kind of let goes instead of being peeled off. And there's no reason to think that once you can get this, let's say, I don't know what the price is, if you can get it to a price point where it's okay for regular bandages, that any Band-Aid, can come off that way.
Yeah, and I mean, and even
but you
better,
want to go swimming with one that comes off as soon as it cools.
No. This is more of a hospital-based situation, and actually can be
for now.
Yeah, for now, and also can be loaded with medications. So
it's a hydrogel.
Yes,
you can do stuff with hydrogels. So
definitely some fun new technology to add to the ever-expanding medical tech that we've discussed, that hopefully we all get to experience or have if needed in the future.
The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. Vidal Sassoon. The only way around is through. Robert Frost. Success is often achieved by those who don't know that failure is inevitable. Coco Chanel. Luck is preparation meeting opportunity. Oprah Winfrey. Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. Babe Ruth. Happiness is something you create. Author unknown.
If you want to live long enough,
you have to eat your fruits and your vegetables
to do all
and your viruses
to get all of these things coming through.
Healthy dose of all three
viruses. Now, I think in the past we talked about bacterias, because I said if viruses are all around and they attack everything else, everything that attacks something has something that attacks it. And we already discussed that there was a bacteria that evolved to eat viruses.
Yeah,
viruses are like pure protein. There's nothing else. So, I mean, there are food sources.
And fats, some simple sugars into it.
But there's no excess. They're so minimal, it's questioning whether they're even alive. They're just like... So, now they're talking about there are some viruses that... Now, we're not eating the virus to digest it like those bacteria do. But, in your gut biome, everybody thinks of the gut biome as bacteria, but it's a biome, not a bacteriome. There are viruses that are key and intrinsic to the virome, and possibly other microorganisms that aren't technically bacteria or viruses, for all I know. Some of these viruses, in this case, are killing certain bacteria. Now, I thought, maybe they're killing the bad bacteria, but that's not what this is talking about, is it?
No, and actually, some of them are actually improving the resiliency of bacteria, right?
They're attacking good bacteria, but that's keeping them stronger. So I guess it's saying if you are too good an environment for your bacteria, the bacteria themselves, which are, survival of the fittest, are becoming flabby.
Yeah,
So they need some challenge to keep them going.
If there's no predator or no sort of stress or resistance, then whether it's an animal or in this case a bacteria, I guess it could become weak.
I guess Captain Kirk spoke for all the bacteria when he said, perhaps we weren't made to live in paradise. We need a challenge. We need something to face and conquer.
So they looked at centurions, which is those are over 100.
Centenarians. Centurions or Buicks or Roman guards.
Oh, yes. Centenarians.
1971, it replaced a saber for a couple of years. Okay, go on. No, excuse me. It replaced the Wildcat on top of the saber. Okay. Now we got our Buick history straight.
Was it in Japan, I believe?
No. It was in 1971, full-size GM line was all new.
No, I'm talking about the people in the study.
No, I'm on Buicks. Is that a blue Buick? Okay, or Roman centurions. Okay, so you want to get back to the regularly scheduled article.
Regular scheduled centenarians in Japan, I believe. I'm going to go with that was the case.
I'll go with that.
And what they found with those that are over 100 had not only a much more diverse gut from a bacterial standpoint, but also from a virus, their virome, the virus biome. Virome.
That's what the Buick did. It went Virome.
You definitely love your Buicks, Mark.
I'm a Mopar guy, but go on.
That it's so you always think of the better bacterial diversity in your gut, the healthier you are, but it's not just the bacteria, it's the virus. The more diverse amount of viruses or bacteriophages in your gut also improved your overall health and, I guess, living longer.
It's a biome, a gigantic community of millions of interactive different types of things, trillions of total things, and you need balance. You need everything in there, in its place, in its amount, working well.
So it's like a rainforest. The more diverse it is, the healthier, quote, the rainforest is. So whether it's your gut, the rainforest, all biodiversity is important.
To your biome, you are the world, and they are the entire environment and populace of that world. And I believe, as they said at the Pepsi Pavilion at the 64-65 World's Fair, designed by Disney, it's a small world after all.
Oh, God, no.
The scariest song in human history.
I've been tortured by that song way too much as a child.
I'm not going to say whether I saw the song in the very original 64-65 World's Fair, but I did.
Actually, that wasn't... That was a year or two after, who's the camp?
The what?
The song that was a hit that you love singing.
Oh, no, that's, okay, you're talking Hello Mother, Hello Father.
Yeah, that came out in 63.
That's 63.
Yeah, so came out right beforehand.
Well, actually, because that's Alan Sherman. He had like 4 albums that year, and that was like on the first. That's what made him famous. So, and he's the answer to the trivia question no one on earth but I know. When the Beatles came over and there's the British invasion, no American album made #1 for like 4.5 years. What was the last album to be #1 before they came? It was
Alan Sherman.
And it was a comedy album, not a regular music album. So,
okay, well, we went all over the place. From Buicks to World's Fair to Alan Sherman. Yeah. So I think at that point, it's time to call it a wrap.
Okay, then. We are winding up the 25th of our first 25 episodes.
It's been a
silver.
Yeah, been a solid 25 episodes, and we have many more to go. A lot of exciting changes ahead, but, we've been loving this. We appreciate everyone coming out and listening. As always, remember to like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, reach out to us at podcast@kineticlife.com. That's podcast@KINETIQ life.com. And until next time, I'm your host, Mike Jalavutis.
And I am Mark Hertzberg.
Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
The Kinetic Life podcast is sponsored by Kinetic Renew. KINETIQ Renew is a 4-ounce shot of all natural ingredients that deliver some amazing benefits, like improved mental clarity, long and short-term focus, and improved memory and cognition. Plus, KINETIQ Renew improves mood with the added benefits of anti-stress and anti-anxiety. Here's what people are saying.
I drink a bottle of KINETIQ Renew, and I'm in a better mood. It's like waking up on the right side of the bed. It's great.
My mental focus is clearly better.
I do notice that I have better clarity. Definitely improves my mood for sure. It reduces my stress.
Visit KineticLife.com today. Log on now and use promo code POD1 for 30% off. That's 30% off your order when you use promo code POD1. KineticLife.com. KINETIQ Life.com. Do it now. You're going to love KINETIQ Renew. Thank you for listening to the KINETIQ Life podcast. Catch a new show every other Thursday. You'll find us everywhere you can listen to a podcast. And remember, be safe, have fun, and go for your dreams. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. All comments, jokes, views, and ideas expressed are those of the hosts or guests and do not represent any company or organizations with whom they may be affiliated. Always make sure to consult your own physician before starting any new diet, supplement, or exercise routine. Oh, and there's one more thing. If you're working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. Steve Jobs.